Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
And here comes Action Electrical service team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas, just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new, exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Sportsbook. Sign up now to unlock access to hundreds of pre-match and live betting options for all your favorite sports. Download the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Working. There we go. It's on now. Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers' schedule is out. Bruins here February 19. A World Cup finalist for Spain and Argentina. You had to watch Messi. Like, why are you leaving Messi alone? Dear England, what the hell? British Open features the secret of M. Elks depth chart is live. MLB resumes play tonight. The Mets versus the Phillies. And the Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube, is underway. Hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchasing on select vehicles, 0% at wolfgmcbuick.com. Our headliner of the day, Kevin McCurdy at 1 o'clock, plus at 12:40, Taylor Burns from the ABH Performance Academy. The Baseball Academy qualified for Baseball Canada's U19 National Championship, currently underway. So we'll get an update from Taylor, and we'll also talk to him about the recent MLB draft, how many young players, a lot of pitchers from Canada in the Major Leagues of Baseball, and how well they're doing and who the next rising stars are who are Canadians. We are live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, Radio Player Canada. After the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcast, and we tweet it out on X. You can text anytime, 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We are on Twitter. We're active there. Lowetide, Declan Krueger, J. Fenwick 04. We will be talking World Cup, CFL depth charts, who's hurt, who isn't, who's moving up the depth chart. MLB is back tonight, Oilers schedule, and things we learned online. And really, in our everyday life, like Declan doesn't like it when people confuse him with other people on the radio. That's a for instance. All right, it's time for the introductions. If he ever had a TikTok go viral, it would be a ridiculous Brad Pitt take while using his baffling Chris Collinsworth voice. It would irritate the hell out of me, but I have no doubt millions would watch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
I'm not going to do the Collinsworth impression. I thought about it. Come on. Come on, Tide.
See, I knew you'd do it. I knew as soon as I did it badly, you'd do it right.
Oh, that was even poor. It was even poorer than usual.
Go ahead.
You got to get that molasses in there. Give me a second here.
You got to get that goofball smile going.
Oh, Tide, come on, come on. Yeah, I could go TikTok famous, but I just can't complete passes like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, look at that.
I'm going to find the verbal that he used when I was praying that they counted Zach Ertz's touchdown in the Super Bowl. And he's like, I don't think that's a fumble. And I'm like, I always liked him until then, and now I just can't like him. If he ever has a TikTok go viral, it'll be a word salad involving the Miami Heat, Messi, Lil Baby, the CFL Rouge, MMA, the evils of oatmeal, and people who cannot figure out that his voice is different than Donovan's and Josh's and everybody else on the radio. We love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Drives me up the wall.
There are things that drive me up the wall, too. One of them is, do you know what my pet peeve of all time is?
What?
So back in the olden days when I was young, you had to learn words and they stayed the same. All the words stayed the same. Regardless meant regardless. And then I found people who would use the word irregardless as regardless, but it wasn't a word. And I was peeved. I was peeved at them. I had big baby energy on that. And then, lo and behold, a couple of years ago, irregardless is now a word, and it means regardless.
But, yeah, that's dumb.
Right. And I think that has more merit for being anger than Declan's thing.
No.
I think I have a more right to be outraged than you do.
No chance. No, this drives me it drives me ballistic.
Well, did you work on the accent overnight?
Yeah, my British accent is pretty good.
No, it's really not.
Oh, man.
That's worse than his Chris Collinsworth. Say it again. Try it again.
I've got it down.
No, you don't.
You sound like Declan trying to do an accent.
Well,
you sound like
really. Wait, hold on. Let me really get into character. No, we can't do this. That's bad.
Come
radio.
on, no.
Listen, I just think it's so whack. I think it's so whack when people mess up. It drives me through the wall. Like it really makes my blood boil. It's something that probably it's one of those things like you with regardless and irregardless. It shouldn't make you as mad as it does probably.
Yeah.
But I wish you guys could feel the just pit I have burning in my stomach.
How long
right
have you
now.
been on the radio again?
Josh?
Like totally since like 2022.
Yeah, okay, so
2021.
4 years,
but
maybe
somebody
5.
Here's the thing, got to remember.
That's where it comes from.
Somebody today is just driving down the road, and they're hearing all of our voices. Now, I have a young sounding voice for a man my age, but it's obviously a mature voice in terms of how old I am. You have a young sounding voice, and that's a compliment to you. So if people are mistaking you for Josh, who's 15 years younger, that's terrific.
No.
Did you just say 15 years younger?
First of all, the age gap is like 5 years.
Okay, well, hold on a second. 7. But
7. Okay, my fault. I can't even think straight right now. Like I'm so pissed just thinking about this.
Did my introduction upset you?
No, your introduction was great. I loved the viral
right.
TikTok. I thought, did you mention anything about like getting upset?
No, I said that you did get upset about people. And
no, the intro was great. It was correct. Yeah, of course, because that's how we got on this. That's how mad I am right now. I can't even remember the intro from 3 minutes ago.
But here's the thing. I'll be completely honest with you, Declan. There are things about you that I don't buy into. Like you get mad about stuff that I go, what the hell's he mad about oatmeal about? But this particular one, I understand. Because if people listen to you, you have a certain level of intelligence. You have a certain worldview. You may have experienced more things in life than the other young people that are on the radio station, not mentioning names, Josh. But if people don't listen close enough to you to understand and hear that and give you the credit for the weight of your knowledge, then that's irritating.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not even a take thing. Like Josh and Donovan have both had takes on things that are way better than what my take on that situation would have been. You know, like I'm sure I've had ones that they get confused and they're like, oh, that. But it's just like, I take it so personally. And we're really hammering it home. We should probably get on with the show, but
yeah. Well, it's something for our listeners to work on.
No, what it really is that like, I think some people still I've been working on this show now for basically a year. I think some people still forget that I work on this show. So they just think it's Declan.
Oh, so you get
that
forgotten.
That might be a little part of it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
definitely
that'll
when we started, there was a lot more like, oh, Declan, how could you say that when I would say something?
Yeah.
It was like, no, like it's me, it's Josh. I'm a whole other person. I just sort of I accepted it.
All right, we've got a few things to get to, so we're going to do it real quickly. The Open is on the 154th at Royal Birkdale. It's tiresome. I know it's where they invented golf and various wars that ended up in a lot of dead people, but I don't really care. I want to watch golf so that the beautiful grass and lettuce around the green is available to me. If a man is in a 75-foot pot bunker and crying, weeping into his pillow, I don't really care because that's not golf. That's a man having a breakdown. So I understand that everybody who loves golf is mad at me right now, but I wish that the British and the British Open could get out of their own way because their traditions, like brown grass, aren't that big a deal.
So just one thing. Was golf created at the Birkdale? Because this is at the Birkdale, not St. Andrews.
No, but it's St. Andrews. But I'm putting the British Open all in one giant.
Just clarifying.
All
just
right.
making sure.
World Cup final, Argentina versus Spain. Again, I'm going to go after the British. Who on that team did not understand what Messi was capable of? Why are you giving him that much room?
I don't understand it. Like I told you when we were just out by the bar in between segments or whatever, I was like, man, like how do you just leave 25 feet of room for him in stoppage time when you're tied? And you're just like, no, we're not going to press up on him or anything. Granted, he made the pass with his weaker leg, his right, but it was honestly so as Declan said, aesthetically pleasing.
It was perfect
to watch. It like the British guy who jumped at it. I'm not quite sure who it was. Apologies. It seemed like he jumped as high as he could, mistimed it, whatever, but it goes right over his hair into the face of who scored Deck?
Martinez.
Yeah, right into the face of him, and then it goes in the back of the net. I'm like, oh, okay, so like you couldn't have placed that on an iPad any better.
Yeah, it's just I like if you get beaten by Larry, that's one thing, but Messi's the guy, and he twice.
No,
like,
but
come on,
but guy, like he's inevitable. First of all, he doesn't have a weaker leg.
I get it.
I get where you guys are coming from.
I'm just quoting Laddie Schmid.
No, I get where you guys are coming from, but like he is inevitable.
Laddie had a weaker leg. Anyway, go ahead.
He's just inevitable. Like you just can't stop it. You know, like it's as simple as that. Like he is inevitable. There is nothing more to say.
How old is that man?
38. He's going to be 39 this year.
I watched that game and I thought he could come back in 4 years. I know that sounds nuts, but how much skill does he have to have a road for him to be not one of the better players on the field, on the pitch? Because for me, I'm watching the game and Argentina had chances. They were hitting posts like crazy, man. It was wild, but and the first pass was just a nice pass and setup. It was a great shot, and that you tie it. But that, like the goal that got them through it's an all timer that will be remembered forever. What a pass! Let me just put what Messi's doing in the Big 26 in some era comparisons. It would be like Diego Maradona competing. The way he was hanging with Mbappe and Holland, obviously Norway and France are both out. It would be like Maradona competing with R9 and Zizou in '98, or R9 competing with Messi and James Rodriguez in 2014, or Ronaldinho competing with Modric and Harry Kane in 2018. But they were all younger than Messi right now. Like it's different, man. It's just different. It really is. I have to say that was I watched it again because I was watching part of it here, and then I had to do some things, and so I watched the whole game again. And like, you know how they say, England parked the bus, but they tried, but they like. Messi's over on the far right side, and there's two guys on him. How can they let him that free? Like he's not normal. Like he's just like you give him we know the saying, give him an inch and he'll take a yard. You give him a millimeter and a first touch and he makes something happen. It's just crazy. I can only imagine.
He's like the best athlete to ever live.
Is England hungover today or just still angry?
Both. Oh, both
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I think that's
Angry.
probably true.
Are we sure they're not just,
Day drunk?
depressed?
Alex, depth chart. I saw you tweet out something on it. Can you give us a real quick rundown about what's happening Friday night and what has changed on the depth chart that is notable?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
That's
there.
okay.
I thought I was going to catch it at the end there. Yes, absolutely. So some changes. David Beard out at center with the calf injury. Mark Corte coming in. There was a center battle at camp between those two. David Beard deservedly, and I think expectedly so, won it out. But Mark Corte, really good insurance policy. Now, David Beard is probably one of the top 3 centers in the CFL. But Mark Corte is a guy who's been here for a long time on this team, has been a wily vet. He's going to come in. He's going to be snapping the ball. Cody, he had an interview with Jason Gregor yesterday that he made reference to the point that the snaps do come a little bit different. But if you have to have a backup center, Mark Corte is a good insurance policy. And Tamari Fox, he's going to be starting for Jordan Williams on that D tackle spot. He is out 10 to 12 weeks with an injury. Tamari Fox, really like his game, came in the Ottawa game. Wasn't noticeable in a bad way or anything like that. He's sturdy. He's a little bit slimmer for the defensive tackle position. It's going to work well in stunts and twists. And then the biggest one for the first game, to me anyway, the first game this season, Robbie Smith will not be starting at defensive end. It will be, so it had been Noah Taylor technically, but he would sub out after one play for Malik Carney because of a designated American nationalized ratio rule, and Robbie Smith on the other side. This time, Robbie will be firmly the second stringer. It will just be Noah Taylor and Malik Carney.
All right. Look forward to that game. If they win that one, then there's a back-to-back in Saskatchewan. With 3 weeks from now, they could be full steam ahead, first place, and roaring for the first time in a long time to the division crown. Doesn't mean anything in the Grey Cup, but it would be indicative of how well they have played, and they certainly have played well so far. Very quickly, the Edmonton Oilers schedule is out. I caught Halloween night there on the against the Islanders, wherever they're playing now, Brooklyn, Nassau, somewhere on a garbage barge out in the ocean. I'm not sure where the Islanders will be playing, but it will be a road game against the Islanders. And February 19th, the Boston Bruins are here. That's a game I'd love to get to. Have you guys looked at the schedule, seen anything that caught your eye? I know there's no Calgary Oilers game on Saturday night, which is weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I right hand up, I have looked at the Flames schedule more than the Oilers schedule so far.
Yeah.
Because it is the last season that the
You
Dome...
don't care about us.
No, that's not it. Well, no, that's not it. But
almost told the truth.
Almost. But I'm just trying to see when I can get down to the Dome a couple of times this season to go. But allow me to... But I agree. The Battle of Alberta's happen on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Tuesday, and Tuesdays.
That's jack garbage.
What are you doing?
I know. It's
like
just,
I don't understand it. Throw one Friday game or one
here's the thing.
Saturday game. It's not that hard.
Alberta has traditions. One of them is getting gunned on a Saturday night when the Battle of Alberta is on.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah. I've done it before. And I will I'll do it again.
Everybody's done it before.
Yeah.
I remember one night the Oilers were playing the Flames, and I was doing a thing for the Athletic at was it Reds? I can't remember where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the game's on. We're doing an interview. Allison Curry was the MC. She did a brilliant job. People were asking questions, and I kept hearing cheers and things, but I didn't really know what was going on. The Oilers had like a 5-0 lead. There were 2 goalie fights. It was just nuts that night.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this was like this was whatever it was 4 years ago.
Yeah. And like, to me, that's Saturday night Battle of Alberta. There's the bars are full in Calgary. The bars are full in Edmonton. Whatever barn they're playing is full. Everybody is in a mood to do something. That's Alberta.
And people are having parties at their houses, much
right,
like we did that day.
And so on a Tuesday night, you're just robbing people of fun. Why would why would Gary do that?
Because Gary's a dummy, quite frankly, and doesn't care about the Canadian market. I think we've all decided. But
that's a dumb move.
I will be taking Wednesday, March 24th off because I will be going to the Battle of Alberta game on Tuesday, March 23rd, which is the last Battle of Alberta in the Dome.
Oh, so yeah.
I will sell whatever
body part you need.
Part I need to. Liver, kidney, left nut, and I will, not the right one.
I think the kidney probably has
The
a better
kidney
chance,
probably
yeah.
has the most value, but I will be making my way to that game.
All right. So, did we not cover? Is there anything we didn't cover?
Hey, Sid's possible last game here. February 13th.
That'll be a big one because Valentine's Day is the next day.
It's true.
So, all right. On the way, just ahead, rumors. And then we're going to talk to Taylor Burns from ABH Performance Academy at 1240 about their event. The Baseball Academy qualified for Baseball Canada's U19 National Championships going on right now. So we'll get an update from Taylor. And then we'll talk to him about Major League Baseball players, not just in the draft, but, inside Major League Baseball, minor leagues, major leagues, and the growing number of pitchers and how well they're doing. So we'll talk to him at 1240. At 1 o'clock today, Kevin McCurdy will be live on the radio with us. And at 1:40 today, it's Declinations. What do we have on Declinations, sir?
Yeah, Thursday, Elks game tomorrow, so it'll be a little Declan CFO.
Beautiful. Look forward to it. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience? All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Looking for premium casino entertainment? Betway Casino brings you live casino tables, fast payouts, and the top game providers all in one place. If you're looking to play the Edmonton way, you're in the right place. So when you're ready for that premium casino feel at your fingertips, play the Edmonton way with Betway. Play responsibly. Alberta only. 18+.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Rainy weather, flooded basements, not a great summer so far. Hi, it's Dennis from Weiss Johnson. If your home has been flooded and your furnace, water tank, or central AC sustained damage, remember, you can choose the company you'd prefer to repair or replace it. You don't have to use the restoration company's referral. After all you've been through, you don't deserve to be pushed into something you don't want or need. So count on a business that's been helping homeowners for nearly 50 years. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
For Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Beautiful day. Hot. Very warm day today. And rivers rising. Storms galore. It's been an active weather summer so far. Let's put it that way. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season. Harley Davidson of Edmonton has your next bike waiting for you. Huge selection of new and pre-owned, plus test rides are available. Locally owned and operated since 1980 on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. This is great riding weather. A lot of bikes out there. A lot of Harleys out there. Very cool. Josh left the room. Josh came back. Declan leaves the room.
Oh, my God.
It's just endless.
Yeah, I know. I did leave to fill up water, but then Mackenzie had asked me, "Oh, did you see the Oilers schedule release video?"
Right.
And I was like, "No."
It's a brilliant one. Up north, they do it, right?
Yeah, but these RV guys from Vegreville, this RV repair store or parts store, or whatever it is, and they drive through some fridges or something, and it explodes into the Oilers schedule. But I'd never seen these guys before, and both Mackenzie and Brandon are trying to tell me that they're like huge on TikTok. Like for an RV store out of Vegreville, they do numbies.
The world is changing as we know it. You know, Vegreville's been known as the egg place, and now it's the cool guys at the RV repair shop.
I still only really know it as the egg place.
They used to have a really good Burger Baron there. I don't know if they still do.
There's Burger Barons in Edmonton.
No, but the one in Vegreville was outstanding.
It was just better.
Well, no, I don't know about that. The mushroom burger there, no matter where you get it, you get it with Tasquin, and then obviously here in Edmonton, real good. Okay, let's talk a little hockey. This is important, and it could be dangerous for Oilers fans. You remember Macklin Celebrini? He's a guy who plays hockey.
He's not bad.
Yeah. So he said, he was talking about, hey, I think it was Wyshynski, friend of the show, who said, hey, you're a year away. You could get offer sheeted. And he said, yeah, quoting now, of course, you want to put your team in the best spot possible where you give the team the ability to make moves necessary to win. I think all that goes into the decision. Now, this is a cat who's just on his entry-level deal now. So, Connor McDavid has signed contracts that are all along that are below value. And I think every contract aside from his entry level, which is just, cut and paste, he's been a bargain contract. And Celebrini may be headed in a similar direction, and that would give San Jose more cap room.
Well, they're going to need it when they're paying, $1 million more to Jacob Trouba and Darnell Nurse than the Avalanche are paying to Cale Makar and Devin Taves.
That won't last long.
You should hope so.
Makar's going to get paid next, right?
Who knows? Maybe he's just like, you know what? We're not winning here anymore. It's time to take my talents back to Southern Alberta.
Well, Edmonton's considered Central or North Alberta, so a little wrong there.
Good try.
Oh, come on. He's going to sign it with an NHL team. Okay. Patrick Kane is apparently choosing between the Sabres and the Blackhawks as his free agent destination. I don't know. I guess going home has its appeal. But to me, he'll always be a Chicago Blackhawk. Trevor Zegras signed a 4-year contract for a lot of money, $9.125 million. We've got to get used to that, though. These cats are blowing right through whatever contract they were on, and they're getting, the big money. At 5 years younger than usual, 4 or 3 years younger than usual. So that's going to happen all down the line, and it will impact the Oilers because Matt Savoy, if he has another year like he did last year or a better year, then it's going to be something else, and it will cost them for sure. Do we care about assistant coaches this time of year?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, the New Jersey Devils have added to their coaching staff. Sheldon Keefe has added Ted Donato, AJ McLean, Dan Stewart is the goaltending coach, and Leo Luongo is director of goaltending. And that all come from Sonny Mehta.
Shout out to Sonny Mehta.
I've read him many, many times. Really bright guy. Big brain.
Many people have those.
I wonder what the first Alberta team to sign as general manager, somebody who comes from the analytics side, like the Delos, the Metas, the Tulskis, the Barneses.
I feel like it would. Ooh, of the two of them, that's tough. Like I would say maybe the Oilers. Maybe they go in a different direction.
Well, they have to, I think, because when McDavid and Draisaitl leave, they're going to have a whole lot of nothing.
At least
going
McDavid.
On. What now?
I said at least McDavid.
Oh, I think McDavid will sign another contract.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong or tell you you're right, but if he leaves, like, I don't think Draisaitl is just going to be like, yeah, I'm gone too without him.
No. I think they're going to stay and win a Stanley Cup. I think the pressure point will come when they've won.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it'll be like, okay. That's my feeling anyway. And remember, I don't know one blasted thing about this. It's just a guess. McDavid's a very loyal guy. Most hockey players are extremely loyal.
Not the American ones, it seems.
Oh, a nice little slice there.
Just saying.
The Lance McCullers deal to the Brewers is official. I don't think he's going to win 15 games in the second half with Milwaukee, but I bet he wins a few. McCullers has been struggling. You know, he's had a great career with Houston. He was a big part of their championship, but he's struggled for a long time with injuries and then control. But Milwaukee are they're the pitcher whisperers. They truly are. So if Milwaukee traded for him, they see something and they're going to take advantage of it. You can take that to the bank. Right? I think so. Any NFL news? Camaro signed, but big whoop.
He didn't sign. He restructured his contract.
All right.
Which that was nice of him.
And I read an offseason in review and then look forward of the Miami Dolphins, and it was just a series of painful cliches like we're done, we have no chance, it's over, we suck.
That's it's essentially like what the Dolphins season is going to be. Starry Donnie, starry Sean Bell, actually, too, as a matter of fact.
Well, they seem resigned to it.
I think Donovan seems less resigned to it. He said the Dolphins were going to win 4 games.
But 4 games? What is it, 17? So it's 4-13.
Yeah. I don't think he's got a sniff.
How many for the Bengals this year? How many wins?
They'll probably go like 9-8.
And what about the Eagles?
I'd say like 10-7.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe.
Because I think they're a 15-win team, but they've got Hurts as quarterback.
And like Devontae Smith, he's got to step up into that wide receiver 1 role. I think he'll be able to do it, but can't say for sure. Like he hasn't done it. He hasn't been a WR1 since he was at Alabama. Granted, he won the Heisman that year.
Yeah, he was good. We'll see.
But the NFL is a different beast,
and they have to pay a lot more attention to him because he's the guy.
Yep.
Can we talk a little bit about that altercation in the NBA players? Like, can we talk a little, because it seems to me like the NBA is not going to discipline anybody.
No, I believe the NBAPA. Yeah, that's the one. Declan's not NBAPA. They came out and they had an official statement that said, we're just gonna move on. Like, it's just the way it is.
So there was a punch in a gym. Is that what happened?
No, it was that was Draymond Green to Jordan Poole a few years ago.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Bam and Tyler Hero was in the main lobby of a hotel in Vegas during Summer League, and they got into a heated exchange over what Tyler Hero, some of his comments and I believe tweets after the Giannis trade went through, just about like the team and Bam in particular. And so Bam, stood up for his guys essentially. And that's really the way it is. The official word from the NBA spokesperson on the incident was, after discussing with the players involved and the NBPA, everyone would prefer to move on from this unfortunate circumstance and no further action will be taken by the league. Okay.
You know, athletes, teammates, brothers in arms have been known to have altercations, and sometimes it has serious and tragic implications. Ron Stewart, I believe it was, and Terry Sawchuk got into a wrestling match in the backyard of their shared home. And Sawchuk fell on a barbecue spit, and it perforated his lung, and he ended up in the hospital, and he passed away.
It's incredibly sad.
So you kids out there who are athletes and have friends on teams and enemies, just be careful out there. Isn't it great that you work with somebody who can pull that from like 1971?
It's very impressive.
Yes, it truly is. I cannot tell you where my car is, but I got that one.
Yeah, you always wander around pretty aimlessly in that parking lot.
I know. I sometimes wonder if because I don't know where my car is, right? And I'm out there and I'm like, geez, I hope Josh isn't watching.
I feel like it's going to be like death proof. Or did Stephen King have the novel about the car that chased after people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not. I try to park my car in the same general spot every day.
It's a good call.
But even with that, I don't know where it is. And I'm here for what, 2 hours?
Well, 2.5-ish.
Yeah. Hey, so Laddie's coaching overseas this year, right?
That is correct.
So he was here this week?
Yeah, today was his final day as a co-host.
So then, like, he has to, because my friend Ken Simpson used to play overseas, and they got to get going soon, like, because the leagues start early over there.
Yeah, so I think he flies out next week.
Okay.
But yeah, he's going to coach at Sparta Prague.
Well, nice small city for him.
Oh yeah,
No.
just super tiny, out of the way. Prague.
My friend Paul Almeida tells me that Prague is a gorgeous city.
And this is what everybody that I know, or I guess the one person, technically two people I know that have been to Prague have told me.
Yeah, that is quite lovely.
Is that it's gorgeous.
And it's very old. There's parts of the city that are very old, but really like historic and gorgeous buildings in that city. So
yes.
Is there anything this show doesn't cover? We are all over everything.
I mean, right now, nope. The world's our oyster. The world is our oyster.
I saw Rory.
He is not having a good day.
No, but could we do something about the grass? Like,
no.
I understand there are shades of green, but shades of brown seem inappropriate for a major golf tournament.
I tend to agree. I think this is the problem with link style courses, though, is that you don't really get any shade cover. So they do just get beat down in the sun. And then, like, if they get cut short and everything, then it burns faster and all this stuff. And so, like, it doesn't look as pretty as Augusta, although, like, that is me comparing, you know, a can of creamed corn to a medium rare ribeye. Like, that's just sort of the way it is. I wish it looked better because every year the British Open is so unpleasing to the eye.
It's like they don't have water, and yet they're all by the sea.
Although St. Andrews, I always find looks quite nice.
Yeah, St. Andrews is I like it when it's at St. Andrews.
And Pebble Beach is a links course, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I see that the leader is at -5. That what that means is the Royal and the Stuck Up will spend this evening trying to find a way to ruin these scores. They don't like it when the foreigners come to their country and shoot well at their course. So they'll make it harder tomorrow.
Yeah.
The pins will be underwater tomorrow at the British Open.
That was
a
dart.
nice shot. Jeez. Who was that?
I think that was Rory. Wasn't it?
I think Rory already shot. Oh, this clown. These stupid
I hate
putters.
these putters.
You know,
Listen,
this is dumbassery. That's not really golf.
why are we standing at a 90-degree angle as our putter goes into our shoulder? I don't get it. I really need Rory to pick this up, though, and I need Matt Fitzpatrick to play worse.
You know, I was going to retire and get out of sports, but there's just too much to correct. So I'm back in, baby.
We're here. Could have been you and Carius just hanging out.
All right, on the way. I'm looking forward to this conversation because it's about baseball, totally about baseball. Taylor Burns from ABH Performance Academy is on the way, and we'll talk a little bit about the Academy qualifying for Baseball Canada's U19 National Championship and about the success of Canadians in MLB, specifically pitchers, but everybody. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Here's what you need to know about Lux Windows. We work hard. We come in early, we stay late, we go above and beyond, and then we go a little further. Not for awards or a pat on the back. We work hard so that choosing our windows and doors is an easy decision for you. It's the Alberta way. It's the Lux way. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
No! Canada is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Another day is going by. I'm thinking about you all the time. But you're out there and I'm here waiting. And
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's 1240. This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Joined now by Taylor Burns from ABH Performance Academy. How are you?
Doing good, Al. How are you?
Good. I know that your academy qualified for Baseball Canada's U19 National Championships. I know they're underway. How are you doing?
Doing great. We're happy to be here. It's been an awesome event so far. Okotoks and Baseball Canada have really gone the extra mile to make it a really professional and really awesome experience for the kids.
Well, I've been following the scores and that kind of thing, and it's not just a great event for today, but there's some cats who are playing who are going to be moving on with their baseball careers, and I think sometimes I love baseball, and I'm in need of reminding how many really good players who made it to the major leagues or are on their way or were drafted recently who come out of Alberta and Western Canada and Canada overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's just continuing to kind of explode, honestly, the last 10 years or so, but then even really in the last 3 to 5. I mean, there's a kid from Red Deer that the All-Star game was just happening. There's always a a futures game, prospects game, and he was, a kid from Red Deer got the MVP of that game. And there's a ton of Albertans and Canadians on the way. It's really changing the growth of the sport in the country, and really Alberta has kind of taken off.
I feel like, back in the day, it was a matter of guys having enough time to play. Now, obviously, you can do it indoors. A lot of kids end up, playing at schools down south. And is the technology, and I know that, like, the way, for instance, pitchers throw, everything has to be as hard as you can possibly throw it. So is it a matter of just staying healthy, and it doesn't really even matter where you're from, because if you hang around long enough, you'll figure out how to pitch if you can just stay healthy?
Yeah, I think so to a degree. I think up here, like, there's some really, really good programs and really, really good coaches that are willing to invest a lot of money in the development side and in the programs themselves. And then because of that, competition continues to kind of raise the bar. So these really, really good programs, everyone's getting better all the time. And suddenly, it's kind of like the 4-minute mile principle a long time ago, where people thought it was impossible to run a 4-minute mile, and then someone did it, and all of a sudden everybody did it. And now, I mean, you got kids. There was a kid that threw 96 miles an hour. He's in grade 11 the other day.
Wow.
At the tournament. We faced a left-handed pitcher who, yesterday, who kind of seemed like crafty, if that makes sense. He threw a lot of breaking balls, changeups against us. He did well. And then I found out after he was 86 to 89, which, even 5 years ago, if you're 86 to 89 in Canada, you pretty much only needed to throw your fastball. And it's just continues to progress because competition breeds better and better development. And if you want to get better players, you're going to have to do a better job than other programs and continue to learn and give them more resources and educate them better and train them better. And that's kind of, I think, what you're seeing.
Is it when I was out at your winter event, I honestly don't remember when that was, but it was maybe
a year and a half ago, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, right?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I was talking to Eric Sabrowski, and he was telling me that reliever, great pitcher for the Cleveland Guardians, and he was telling me that the batters can go under the stands and face like a fake pitcher that has the same movement as the guy they're about to face when they come out and hit in the game. Like it seems like an unfair advantage for the hitter.
It's a remarkable, that technology is really, really cool. I mean, obviously that's only at the MLB level because it's crazy expensive because of the constant software updates. But Eric, if you want to face, you can just face Paul Skeens, or you can face, think if you wanted to simulate facing, Tyler Rogers on the Blue Jays there that throws from super low, or Yasav or whoever, you can literally, if you're a hitter in the MLB, prepare exactly for what you're going to face. And pitchers are always ahead, and then hitters kind of catch up, right? So pitchers figure out new ways to get people out, and then the hitters are always trying to adapt to that. And I think that technology is really helpful. And for us, obviously, we don't have that. But one of the reasons our kids can hit velo so well is we have an indoor facility, and they have pitching machines, and they just crank it up to 90 miles an hour, 95, and they practice and practice and practice seeing it and hitting it.
For pitchers, though, like Jacob Mizorowski didn't pitch in the All-Star game, and he didn't pitch on the Sunday before the All-Star game, and they're going to bring him back slowly from what we are being told. So it's not a matter of if they'll break eventually, it's when, right? Like everybody's going to, I'm not saying everybody's going to have TJ, but the arm just isn't made to go that way.
Yeah, it's the most stressful movement in sport, right? It's by far the most stressful movement. And I mean, a lot of people, there's a lot of talk out there about like the modern pitcher just chases velocity, but I disagree. Obviously you need to throw harder in order to make it and advance, but it also improves your off-speed pitches. But the biggest thing now is hitters can, they could kind of coast facing a 7, 8, 9 hole. Now everybody can hit the ball out of the ballpark. And so pitcher, like if you look at Verlander as an example, Verlander was known for early in his career, he would kind of go 90, 93 first couple innings, then he would ramp it up, and then he'd kind of finish the game throwing 100. You can't really pace yourself anymore. You might be out of the game in the fourth inning.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But like, you look at like Paul Skeens, look at how many walks that guy has. He's very few. That guy still is, he throws 100 miles an hour, but he's a great pitcher.
Yes.
And Mizerovsky this year throws really, really hard. But if you look at his usage and stuff, it's been cool to watch his maturation and learning how to pitch more rather than just trying to blow fastballs by everybody, which he still does, but it's not just that.
Yeah, it really is amazing. And take me through the academy and when you get, you get a player at a certain age at ABH Performance, and do they arrive with you and they've already had a little bit of an injury history, or are they at a point where they're just developing and maybe they're going to have an arm issue, but they haven't yet?
You kind of hit the nail on the head. So I would say AHP, we train, I'm lucky enough that we actually have more hockey players than baseball players now. We got a ton of WHL and NCAA guys, but the hockey side has really, really exploded, which is a lot of fun. And it kind of works in good conjunction with the baseball season, right? And we train a ton of other players too, jiu-jitsu or athletes, jiu-jitsu, skiers, golf, you name it. But with any athlete, and hockey players are using, like, their hips are usually messed up and they maybe don't know it yet. So your question to a baseball player, we always do like a thorough assessment of how they move and their, everything. And we're trying to maybe uncover some red flags that could lead to injury and try to get ahead of the 8 ball. So if they have some strength deficits or mobility deficits or whatever, we want to maybe uncover that. And the earlier you get them, probably the better chance you have of, making them a little bit more anti-fragile, for a lack of a better term, is what we're trying to do. Yeah. And then you just monitor their workload and you communicate with them about communicating to us if things aren't, I always tell them, well, you guys got to let me know if your body starts whispering to you so we can make some adjustments. And we try and do our best that way.
Yeah, it's funny because Taylor Burns, our guest, president and founder of ABH Performance, I feel like my friend Jeff Krischel always tells me he's a nutritionist and he does a lot of the the conditioning for young athletes and often they're baseball players. And, folks, come in with their child and it's their child. And they're like, help me with my child who keeps breaking down. And it's like, it's a thing, right? Like the trust that the family has in an individual who's going to help their kid realize their dream. That is a big damn deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think basically my role is similar to Jeff's. I've, a lot. Unfortunately, a pretty big part of my clientele is kind of post-rehab athletes who've been injured, who are either they're healthy now and they want to stay that way, or they're kind of had a surgery or not a surgery, but an injury, and they've done the physio, but now they're not ready to maybe like return to their sport, and we got to kind of bridge the gap. So it's a great responsibility and an opportunity. Especially for me, my career was ended with a shoulder injury in college. So, it's something that I'm passionate about. You can't, unfortunately, you can't bulletproof kids. Injuries are part of sport, but we try our best to do our best to make sure, we minimize risk as much as we can.
So I'm a final question here for you, and I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but I'm really hoping you can help me with this. Major League Baseball has just like moments ago kind of thing. I just was reading it on the wire here a few minutes ago. I'm going to find the quote and then send it to you as a hot potato, and then you can handle it beautifully and people can know how good you are thinking on your feet. But it looks like the Major League Baseball, this is via Saris, Major League Baseball is banning the custom tab on the dugout iPads due to as many as 10 power user teams pushing the envelope on what is considered live input. So suggestions to the pitcher about what he might throw based on what they're seeing live. From your point of view, just first blush, is that beneficial? Like, is it good for the game? Or is this something that you believe should be allowed for advanced thinking teams?
Okay, so explain a little bit, because I haven't read it. So basically, teams are using the iPad and in real time, based off of let's say or let's say Eric's pitching, and in that first inning, they're like, okay, there's a greater chance he's going to give you a breaking ball.
Yeah, it says they're cracking down on generative in-game iPad apps, making pitch and strategy suggestions from the dugout that go to the pitcher.
Man, that's a nuance. There's a lot of nuance there, right? I mean, forever and ever, you're in the dugout, you're trying to steal the other team's signs and maybe let your team know that you have them without them knowing that you know them. But I don't know, maybe I'm old school. That sounds like something greater than the human brain or human brains decoding it. I think that, I would agree that if it's a technology or algorithm creating, giving you the intel on patterns or whatever it may be, I don't think that should be allowed. I think, I don't know. That would be you said first blush. I guess that would be my first blush.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you taking the question because it's not like you had a chance to read up on it. I could be lying to you. Who knows? Listen, thanks so much for this. Good luck at the tournament, okay? And we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much, LT.
There you go. That's interesting stuff. And I loved his take on that. Taylor Burns from ABH Performance Academy, their baseball academy qualifying for the Baseball Canada U19 National Championships, which are on currently. But, I'm fascinated by these young people who have a dream and they're pursuing it. And the world is a different place now than it was 40 years ago when I started loving baseball. And injuries are such a factor, especially for pitchers, right? And when I talk to Taylor and Eric Saprowski, that they don't, when pitchers get hurt, it's not the end. Like it's okay. What's the procedure? What's the rehab? How long is it? And everybody just kinds of locks and load on a timeline. And I find that idea fascinating, where you could have a 12-year career and only pitch in 7 of those years at full torque, and that's basically because of the way you throw. You're throwing, everything as hard as you can with some, creativity within that. So an interesting conversation. I did like his point about, the new rule from Major League Baseball just coming down, that AI is out in terms of suggesting the next pitch. And I wonder how many pitchers that will impact. It's going to be a lively ball summer. I can say that now. Balls were starting to go out big time before the break, and I'm sure they will continue. On the way, Kevin McCurdy will join us at 1 o'clock, and we're going to talk to him about the Edmonton Oilers' schedule, what they might do with that extra walking around money, some of the contracts that are coming and some of the trades that have been made due to the offer sheet that impacted the Philadelphia Flyers and mostly impacted the Anaheim Ducks. That's all straight ahead, and we have Declanations talking CFL at 1:40 today. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elksnation.ca for the best green and gold coverage online with articles and podcasts. Tons of in-depth in-game analysis. Visit elksnation.ca. MLB resuming tonight, 5 p.m. first pitch between the Mets and the Phillies. Scott and Nola on the mound in that one. British Open, the Open Championship, scores through one round. Jackson Suber leading the way at 5 under. Daniel Brown and Sun Jae-im both tied at 4 under. Top-ranked Canadian in the field is Nick Taylor, who's currently tied for 14th at 2 under. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment.
Back up here. Rogers is cross. Quarter coming in. Anthony Jordan. Right place. Right time. England leading in the semi-final. The world champions are...
Argentina va buscando, es esta.
Messi. Oh, England are in trouble. Maybe to Lautaro Martinez.
And then when it comes out wide, it's Messi. And you're all expecting him to chop onto the left foot. Instead of that, he goes down the line on the right, stands up, a beautiful cross.
Let these short corners.
Well, Harry, it's the most.
That's a. It might be just going over the bar, but has to. It might be just going over the bar, but has to make sure.
Let these short corners more often than not as he gets into the penalty area. This one's on target. This one's an absolute beauty. We had the sighter, and now he's smashed in the equaliser. Enzo Fernandez. Messi. Oh, England are in trouble. Maybe to Lautaro Martinez. They're going out to the semi-final stage. It's been header after header after header, and this one finds the back of the net.
Shouldn't hurt. He knows all about the Expos and Oilers. It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Edmonton's Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchase financing on select models, 0%. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. Very busy hour. Declinations straight ahead at 1:40. We have lots of your comments on the Open, on the Oilers schedule, on the lack of Calgary Flames Saturday night games against the Edmonton Oilers in Calgary or in Edmonton, and a few other things. It's all straight ahead. Right now, though, it's our headliner of the day, Kevin McCurdy, brought to you by Faber. Debt holding you back? Let Faber's licensed insolvency trustees help you tackle your debt. Book your free consultation at faber.ca or call 1-877-944-1177. That's 1-877-944-1177. Joined now by Kevin McCurdy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Is it Wednesday already?
Oh man! If I had a penny for every time that I forgot the day, showed up 2 hours late, forgot about a meeting at all, I'd have at least $1.50. Let me tell you.
What can I say? I'm my father's son.
Well, the thing I always learned in life is that you, when I forget something, I always feel so bad that it lasts me about 6 months or a year, and then I go back to being forgetful. So I always say I'll do my best, and it was okay. As a matter of fact, Bagnell couldn't do today, so it worked out pretty well. And we mocked you openly yesterday, just so you know.
Well, deservedly so, I would say.
So, did you get a chance to look at the schedule? People are mad that the Flames and the Oilers don't play on Saturday nights. I like the fact that the Bruins are in town when the weather's starting to get a little better on the 19th of Feb. What's your take so far if you've had a look at the Oilers schedule?
I had a quick look at it. My initial assessment was a little flawed, but a couple of 6-game road trips there, and the one that kind of is a big swing and the miss on the league's part is the first game ever in the Saddle Dome was a 4-3 loss to the Edmonton Oilers in, I believe, 1983. And the league didn't seize the opportunity to make the last game in the Saddle Dome against the Edmonton Oilers. Instead, it's against the Vancouver Canucks. And that kind of stuff, like there's a subtlety there that I guess if somebody thought about it for a minute would have been pretty awesome.
I agree with that. I think that the NHL, I mean, they try to create rivalries, and some are just natural geographically, and that is one of them. And certainly, it would have been at the very least cool to go back and review or replay that game if they had it on tape, just to see what it looked like, the building itself. And then, what the teams were like. I remember what the teams were like. The Oilers were really good. But you're right. That's kind of a missed opportunity. We've kind of been asking everybody their assessment of Stan Bowman's July. Now, that's kind of cheating because it's 1 month and it's, only half over. But there was a lot of activity. What's your thought so far? You don't have to give a grade or anything, but what's your thought so far on the work that Stan Bowman has done in July for the Edmonton Oilers?
So far, so good. My hope is that they will keep their powder dry on the money that they have left in cap until they either find the right opportunity or the trade deadline arrives. Be the first time in my recent memory that the Oilers have actually entered a season with cap space. Thanks in no small part to Mike Greer graciously taking on Darnell Nurse's contract in its entirety and even giving us assets in return for it, which was the hope all along. It sounds like there were other opportunities with other teams, but they involved taking back contracts that were less than ideal, or people that have a history of hating on this team. I'm looking at you, Nikita Zadorov.
Yeah, Zadorov is the new Regier, but I agree with you. I think it's been a good month for Stan Bowman. My worry was a little bit that they'd go out and get a Mantha, or they could still make a trade for a Rust or whatever. And I like the idea of them holding back money for two reasons. Number one, the deadline. You don't have to hold all $5 million back, but that would be a good idea. I want to make sure they have 23 men that they can have on the roster all year. And then, as we saw with Jack Roslovic, sometimes late in the summer, guys get desperate and they want to go somewhere, and the Oilers could take advantage of that, as they did a year ago with Roslovic.
Yeah, see, Mantha wanted money and he wanted term, more importantly, and neither of those things I would be willing to give that guy to the extent even that he got. Mantha's a great player in the regular season, but he's kind of a ghost in the playoffs. And the last thing the Oilers kind of need is another Jack Roslovic in that. Now, granted, Mantha is a different player who had substantially more size, but nonetheless, I think there might be better opportunities that present themselves. And honestly, it would kind of be of a slap in the face to Ike Howard too. Like, you got to give that kid an opportunity to succeed a little bit. You got 20 or 30 or 40 games to make that call. So what's the hurry? You know, you don't have to spend the farm. You got your powder dry. If some injury happens and you need to acquire somebody with salary, you have the space to wheel and deal and make something happen. So I don't understand what the incentive is to spend all of your allowance money before the end of the first day.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And we don't know what we don't know. The goaltending looks fine. I'm a little worried about the center position. I like Szymanski, but I wouldn't mind it'd be nice to get a right-handed center if they can do it at a reasonable price. Maybe somebody who can grow with the group. I'd like if they're going to shop, I wouldn't mind them shopping via trade, or maybe even picking up somebody off of waivers. The Carolina Hurricanes did pretty well with that. There's lots of opportunities there, and I do think that the Oilers are shopping in the right aisles. A lot of the players that they signed this summer, we haven't necessarily talked about it, but you could justify. Devin Levi is he's a really good prospect. Now he hasn't been a pro impact player like we thought he might based on what happened before he turned pro, but he's still young enough to turn that around. I like the defenseman they picked up. I feel as though the moves that they've made are small enough that if they go awry, you're not going to be harmed too much, and they're good enough so that you can legitimately say, hey, Shea could move up to the second pair if need be, and he might be very good. So I'm not going to call them balanced, but I think if they could figure out a right-handed center maybe for the third line, or decide to use Ryan Nugent-Hopkins there, they'd be pretty close. What's your perception of where weaknesses might lie on this roster?
Well, I mean, they certainly have a lot of defensemen. Jury's still out if they have the right defenseman, so to speak. But the roster definitely is not wanting for defensemen. They've got 3 goaltenders. They've insulated themselves well from a bunch of potential outcomes, quite well. They have Levi, who's basically unproven at the NHL level. That's a gamble for sure. They have Anderson, who has injury history, and they have Jari, who has both injury and inconsistency history. So if they can find 2 guys out of the 3 that they can go with, then that's a great outcome for them. They signed Anderson for the short-term need. If Levi turns out, great. Anderson, see you later at the end of the season. He mentors these other guys for a little bit, which is also great coming from a Stanley Cup winning team. Maybe instills a little bit of that. If he gets hurt, they have options there, so that's good. Again, to your point, I think they're still potentially wanting for a top 6 forward, but we have seen the success of Podkolzin and Draisaitl and Kapanen together. We've seen the success of at least Hyman and McDavid together, and I would argue that Savoy is kind of a shoe-in for that last spot for the time being. I would let him run with that and see if he can take his game to the next level. I mean, he started turning on his NHL point creation towards the end of the season last year. And granted, he wasn't as effective in the playoffs, but he's got to learn how to be effective in those situations. So weaknesses, I think there's some subtle weaknesses, but this roster has quite a bit of depth to the point that they have all of their roster spots filled and cap space to spare, which is kind of a wild predicament for the Oilers to be in, to be honest with you. It's been quite a while since that's been the case.
It has, and I feel like Ike Howard is such an interesting player on this team because they do have cover. They could run Kasperi Kapanen on the Draisaitl line, for instance, instead of Ike Howard, and then they could play Howard on a third line with say Nuge, and if they chose to run Podkolzin there or Frederick or Doc or someone like that. If Frederick, does not perform at a level that they're hoping, then they have, players for that. I like that they've marbled young players who could succeed, and a guy like Joseph who might end up playing more than some people think. there are options available there, and I think Mike Babcock is going to look at this team differently. I keep whenever I list the lines, I go McDavid, Savoy, Hyman, and then Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and either Howard or Kapanen. No guarantee Babcock will run them like that. Correct?
No, Babcock is Mike Babcock. He runs to the beat of his own drum, and that's what makes him both controversial and great. I think we might be surprised what we see coming out of the gate this year. I am looking forward to seeing, in particular, what DJ Smith does with both the penalty kill and the defensive core. Obviously, that was an area of significant weakness for the Oilers last year after a legendary penalty killing run the previous offseason. But I think that some new philosophy and some different faces, they've clearly targeted the penalty kill as an area of weakness, both in roster construction and coaching. So I think that, as long as they're able to put their own spin on it freely without a lot of outside influence, I think we might be really surprised by the results.
Do you feel like when I look at this roster and I'm anticipating what happens here in the fall, the possibility of having a shutdown line is there, but I don't know how real it is. You know what I mean? Like it's been a long time since we saw like a checking line or a fourth line that took own zone faceoffs. But I think Dickinson kind of allows you at least to dream that. Do you think it might be possible we see that?
That's all entirely up to Mike Babcock and how he chooses to deploy them. I haven't followed Mike Babcock's work as closely as some others have. So if that's his style to have that shutdown line, then there's all likelihood that we'll see that appear. If it's not, then we won't. I'm of the belief, and maybe this is a mistaken belief, that the best defense is playing offense, which is the Oilers are really, really good at. It's if they can drive those results down the lineup, and one of the ways they can do that is by continuing to add to this roster in ways where guys are playing down the lineup rather than up the lineup. Because historically, the Oilers have had a problem where they have a third line center, but they need a second line center, so they'll play him up to the second line and will be surprised when the results are not there, versus maybe having two first or second line centers and playing one of them down on the third line, right? And that's kind of the direction I would like to see the team get to, is where they have enough skill and talent available to them that they can be playing guys down roster, because in those cases they can redistribute the time differently because they have that capability. They're not fighting an area of weakness, they're harnessing an area of strength.
Yeah, it's I think we're at a point now where even though it's July and it's going to be a couple of months here before we get into the real heart of the training camp, we're already kind of thinking that way, right? Like we've talked it to the point where we just have to wait for Mike Babcock to say a few words and then we can go again.
Yeah, I'm really looking. I'm also interested to see what happens with the 4-game preseason as opposed to the 8-game. I think it's 4 games, right?
Yeah, it's 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long overdue change, man. Like the crap games with and great. Unfortunately, that is going to curtail some opportunity for some guys that will never otherwise make it to the roster to actually put on the orange and blue and play for the team. But the reality is some of those games were painful, especially the earlier ones. There's not a lot of it's a lot of broken hockey, not a lot of consistency, and just sort of getting into the meat of it, I imagine fairly quickly is going to be a welcome change.
It's going to be pretty wild. Question for you, asking everybody, what movie are you looking forward to most watching in the theaters this summer, or are you going to avoid the theater and popcorn all summer?
I haven't actually been in a theater since I think pre-COVID. I just find the cost is a little egregious. I kind of wish that I went and saw Project Hail Mary in theaters because that was excellent. But the honest truth is I am playing as much hockey as I can find ice time for. So that's where I'm spending my extra cycles. It's mostly cool, although some of the facilities in the city could double as a steam room. I'm serious. We were at what was it, Kinsman yesterday, and every period the timekeeper had to come out and squeegee the glass because it was all fogged up. So you think that we could install like a heating element or something? We might have the technology somewhere to make it possible. But yeah, my spare time these days is getting as much ice time under my skates as I possibly can, and that's been both a health exercise and just a well-being exercise overall.
There you go. You're obviously hydrating. You're drinking while you're losing all
Yep.
that. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, trying my best anyways.
There you go. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Sounds good. I'll actually be there this time. Have a good week, everyone.
All right. You too. Kevin McCurdy on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Even I've been in a theater since COVID. I was, first time I went back, I was shocked that you could order wine and you sat in these gorgeous, chairs.
Yeah, they got a lot of work done during COVID.
Yep.
I
appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
I've spent a lot of time in the theater post-COVID. I mean,
77.
I've been there many a time this year. I'm going more. I'm going to see the Odyssey on Sunday night.
Now, every time you talk, I'm afraid you're going to go into your Chris Collinsworth.
Ah, come on.
All right. It's 1:19. We'll take a break. Your comments on the show and what you want to talk about. This no Saturday night Calgary Edmonton thing it's hitting hard. It really is. We'll talk about that and more. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you.
A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Get your early morning going with the sports stories Edmonton actually cares about. Catch Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports leader. Don't just listen. Join the conversation at 833-401-1440. Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Lowetide to Kevin Karius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Hi, Edmonton. The legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
No! Canada is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check it out, wolfgmcbuick.com. I bought that 45. It was a big hit.
You bought every 45.
I did.
Listen, man, Barry Manilow's kind of like the old-timey Nick. Like, no one wants to admit they like Barry Manilow, but Barry, come on, banger after banger.
Well, also, he sold 1 trillion records.
Yeah, like come on.
It's like
Weekend in New England, Mandy.
Totally, right? And it's a miracle, a true blue spectacle, the miracle.
Does Barry Manilow know you raid his wardrobe?
Oh, come on now.
Love that movie.
Have to say this, that people will say to me, my age, they'll say, I never liked disco. I didn't go to discos. Well, I was there. And a lot of people were there too. I loved it. It was great. It was a lot of fun, man. And there were country dance places too. I went there. if the world offers you 17 different options, you should sample them all, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go to the same restaurant each day, would you?
Well, I mean, I did it's very well known. I went to the same place like 5 times a week.
For how long?
2.5 years.
Wow. Now they must have loved you.
I think they tolerated me.
Jason
Although they
Strudwick-
were paying me, so they had to tolerate me.
Jason Strudwick, famously, when he was in the NHL, still took the subway 10, you take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
little, and he valued that,
As he should.
Yeah.
Way to
they're
go,
good-
Struddy.
They're good subs.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Ricky says Ike Howard will not be a top 6 forward on the Oilers next season. Ricky from Moose. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I think he's earned his opportunity, and I hope he makes the best of it. But there are no guarantees in life. I may not be able to find my car in the parking lot at 2:00 today. It could happen. So you pay your dues, as Ike Howard did. He played brilliantly well. I will tell you, I'm writing an article right now, and I'm going to finish it up when I get home. And it's an article about comparables. This player did this at 20 or 21. Who are the players 3 years back and 2 years back and 1 year back who did similar things at the same age in the same league? And one of the comparables for Ike Howard is Matt Coronado, who's a pretty darn good player for the Calgary Flames. And he did blossom. I think he played 36 games that had 9 points in his first year at 21, and then he blossomed into a fine player the following year. So that gives you an idea, but we don't know that Mike Babcock's going to give us the same opportunity that Coronado got. So it's open season, but when you say he will not be, that's where I push back, because we don't know. We don't know the price of gas a year from now. We don't know that I'll be driving this vehicle a year from now. We know Josh will be famous a year from now, but that's obvious.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. It's right there.
I mean, come on now.
Wake
By the way,
up.
I retweeted you. You had a great line about the Flames Oilers.
Yeah.
And I retweeted that. Anybody react to it?
Yes. Stan Gilbert liked it.
Okay.
There might be more likes on it, but I don't get all the notifications. I think only from people that follow me.
Right. You can't afford to have the full meal deal, right?
No, I cannot. Oh, two other people reposted it as well. Yeah, never mind, guys. We're popping off.
Colin says, I was thinking Dickinson was locked in at third line center. Is that not the case? Here's what I think, Colin. I think that he'll play the third most minutes at center because he'll be a PK guy. I think he'll do his own zone starts. But I do think that line may have trouble scoring. Maybe I'm wrong. Depends on his line mates, I guess. But I think there is a possibility that if you put Szymanski, Doc, and Frederick together on the fourth line, they may actually, at 5-on-5, be a more productive line offensively. Doesn't mean they're going to outscore as much, but I think there's an opportunity there for the fourth line some nights to play more than the third line. Lowetide bought every 45, but that was because he couldn't find wax cylinders anymore. Matt and Leduc. It's true. My dad had 70. My grandpa had 78s. Harry James, the Dorsey Orchestra, and big band music, and Mel Torme. So I used to listen to 78s when I was a little kid. And then there was about a 2-year period where, when I was young, when all I heard was the soundtrack from The Sound of Music, because my grandma played it 16 times a day. You know how they always, adults are always teasing kids about listening to music a lot?
Yeah.
That whole 2-year period, all the adults listened to The Sound of Music. And so
nice. Banger.
Young people like me, we know Do, Re, Mi backwards.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Again, banger tracks.
Banger tracks.
They were onto something.
Edelweiss. Edelweiss. Come on, sing with me.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Kenneth says, what AHL player from last year will be in the NHL top 6? People think the Oilers are these cup contender, or do they think Howard will be in the top 6? Look, what happened last year to Matt Savoy? Matt Savoy started out on the fourth line and he penalty killed. And the coach said, don't worry about, points. We'll figure that out later. You just learn to play in the NHL. And he did. And then starting in January, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins offensively was fading on the McDavid line. Savoy stepped in and he was brilliant. And at the end of the year, he was playing top 6 minutes. So it doesn't mean that Ike Howard is going to do that, but it does mean that these things do come true. He might have to wait for Zach Hyman to fade, but I don't think so. I think that if you look at the top line, Savoy, McDavid, Hyman, and then Draisaitl, Podkolzin, Kapanen, I think Kapanen is a guy who he holds serve until Howard can replace him. And it might come early, might come late. We don't know. Mike Babcock doesn't know the roster, and the roster doesn't know Mike Babcock. So we are allowing for a lot of possible outcomes, which I think is probably the fair play. I've talked about this before, but there's a small possibility that Colton Dock becomes the guy who plays a lot. He's a really good player, and he's big and he's strong and he hits people and he's got great energy. When Babcock got to Toronto, he did play the hell out of Matthews, and he did play the hell out of Marner, and he did play the hell out of Nylander, all great young players. But he also played Zach Hyman a lot, and Zach Hyman did not have draft pedigree, and he played Connor Brown a lot. So we have to see what he sees and then how he deploys what he sees. There's probably somebody we're not talking about right now, who Damian Carfagna or Quinn Hudson or Josh Szymanski or whomever, that is going to end up being a bigger part of the 26-27 Edmonton Oilers that any of us are thinking right now. Because when you change the coach, then it opens up a mountain of possibilities, right? It's like, do people remember the show before Josh got here? How often before Josh got here was Chris Collinsworth mentioned? How often before Josh got here did we talk about the Calgary Flames goaltenders? It opens up possibilities. How often did we talk about the Cincinnati Bengals? I mean, we mocked them, sure, but not like now.
Now you mock them harder.
Totally, as we should. How much did they improve the offensive line in the offseason?
Oh, not a lot. Listen, I'm still upset about this whole no Battle of Alberta on a Saturday thing.
That does suck. I think that people will be genuinely upset about it. You're going to see a lot of people taking a Wednesday off after a Tuesday.
Oh, well, I will be one of those people. Somebody had said, Calgary sucks. They aren't wasting a national spot with Connor McDavid on the Flames. Simple as that. Saturday, March 13th, the famed and historic Oilers versus Kraken rivalry.
Yeah, I look, if you said to me, Lowetide, we want to play Saturday night games against rivals, I would have Calgary, Edmonton right at the top, along with like Philly and everybody.
Yeah, like Philly, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if you want a rivalry game, just put Philadelphia on the ice with anybody, and Florida's getting to be that way too.
Oh yeah, Florida's a great one. Florida, Tampa. I bet you now Florida, Ottawa. Florida, Carolina.
Brad says Ike Howard replaces Nuge top 6. Actually, Matt Savoy already did. Didn't Barry Manilow write the soundtrack to Leisure Suit Larry? I don't know.
Guess who does? Google.
The last Barry Manilow record I bought, I don't like it. It was a very cynical song. It was called Looks Like We Made It, Left Each Other All the Way. And I'm, I just like love songs. Why can't people write songs about looks like we made it, we're together all the way? It's a small little change, And don't get me started on that damn Pina Colada song. Do you know that song?
Yes.
This guy gets tired of his lady, and he puts an ad in the newspaper. Hey, if you like pina coladas, get caught in the rain. If you're not into health food, if you get high on champagne. And then this lady answers it, and it's his own lovely lady. And they laugh. What kind of a doofus song is that?
It's honestly, it's a toe tapper. No, Barry Manilow did not write the soundtrack to Leisure Suit Larry.
I'm offended by Pina Colada song. And also that stupid song about I got your phone number in the back of my ripped jeans thing.
Oh?
If you want to call the girl, call her.
I'm lost now. I don't even know what song he's talking about.
It's that thing by the red-haired guy.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, he wrote a song. The ripped jeans thing. All right. On the way, declinations straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers The Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports. It's Sports 1440.
From Lowetide to Kevin Karius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
to Sports 1440.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Anytime you can check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. I love Barry Manilow. That's a great song. If you get a chance.
I jumped it back up a touch just so we could hear him
Man,
sing the hook,
so
beginning
good.
of the hook there.
If you get a chance, watch the TV show Will and Grace, the episode Fanilow. It's from 2003. And Grace sings Mandy, except she's saying Mummy when she sings it. And it is damn hilarious. Fanilow, Will and Grace. Please watch it and then let me know what you think. Okay, enough of that silliness. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. The Edmonton Elks Dog Days of Summer is this Friday against the BC Lions. Bring your friend with you. Lock in your tickets at goelks.com/tickets and have a doggone good time Friday night. And now to talk about that game, Declan Krueger.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick, the poll results from yesterday's show. Do you give Steve Yzerman credit for drafting Mo Sider? Do you want to know what the results were? Any guesses?
You framed it, so I'm going to say 66% for yes and no, 34 for no.
You're really close. You're really close. It was 64% yes, 36% no.
Yeah, you didn't frame it right, but that's okay. I
How should I? Whoa! How should I have framed it?
You should have said Lowetide thinks the answer is no. Now go vote.
I let the people make their own decisions.
That's how I win all of the online things.
It's a nice trump card to have.
I just say, these young people are trying to ruin me. Please vote no. And then they do, because they feel sorry for the old guy.
Yeah, maybe. Elks Lions this Friday. Some injury notes that we talked about off the top. David Beard, he's going to be out for this one with the calf injury. Mark Corte is stepping into center. Not as good of a center as David Beard. Maybe some issues with the snap. If you see that and you're thinking like, boy, that's pretty weird. What the heck's going on? You have a guy who was making his first start at center this season. Now he was battling for the center job with David Beard in camp. Clearly and expectedly won by David Beard. Mark Corte played all of last season, predominantly played left guard. I thought he was their best offensive lineman. It was him and David Beard. Like, it was no question. It was between those two before Carter O'Donnell got there. Most people tend to think it was David Beard at center. He's now out. Mark Corte steps in. It's going to be not as good. Like, let's just put our hands up. There's a reason David Beard won the starting job over him. It's not going to be as good. There may be some moments where those snaps aren't getting there the way they need to be. But he's still a wily vet who's been with the team a long time, consummate pro. Like, he's going to come in ready. But it's just like, it is what it is. It's not going to be as good. It's a backup. Tamari Fox is also going to be coming in for Jordan Williams on the defensive line. Tamari Fox, a little bit slimmer for the defensive tackle position. I would like to see him running a lot of stunts and running a lot of twists. Jordan Williams has quietly been one of the most underrated players, I think, for this Edmonton Elks team. Like, defensive tackles don't always get a lot of love because their sack numbers aren't crazy, like defensive ends or linebackers sometimes coming on blitzes, things like that. But the way they plug gaps in the run game and the way, like, their gap responsibility is so vital to that machine that is the defense, and he does it very, very well. So I like Tamari Fox. He came in, he played in the Ottawa game. Didn't notice him in a bad way. But again, it's just one of those things, like, there was a camp battle and Jordan Williams won that battle and now he's not there. So you can probably expect it to be maybe a touch of a level below. And I talked to Tamari Fox down at Elks practice today. Going to throw that into an article later. And he was just very kind of aware of the moment, I would say. Like, you know, kind of knows what it means, knows what it takes. He's seen game action across 2 seasons. He's not like a wide-eyed rookie the way Daryl Jabome was coming in to play that Mac linebacker spot. So I think that one will be probably less noticeable than David Beard's absence, but it's something to note as well. Keys to the game. Defensively, this one's pretty simple. James Butler gashed you for like 135 yards. All he did was run up the A-gap. Like, they did nothing schematically that was crazy or like, all they would do is they would hand it off to James Butler, strong side A, weak side A. And he would get to the second level and use his speed and, you know, get a lot of yards. The biggest problem with that was it was Daryl Jabome's first start that game. And he was too tentative. He wasn't able to get off blocks. He was not going downhill the way he needed to be. Like there were plays he needed to go. You got to get 5 yards downfield essentially from your starting spot as a linebacker, especially in run coverage. And he just wasn't getting there. He would get maybe 2, and then he would get moved pretty immediately. His first step, your first step as a linebacker always needs to be towards the run. His first step was very east-west. Like he was happy feeding it a little bit. I asked Coach Killam about him and just kind of his progression since his first start. And he said, yeah, it's been arrow up with this guy. A lot of raw natural talent there. And he has improved. Like last game was certainly better, but this is the team that kind of like they gashed him a little bit. And Eddie Steele and myself, and I'll use Eddie for credibility's sake, we spent some good time tearing him up on Elks Nation. Like his film was really, really poor. And we kind of went over all of those things, like just the way he was not able to initiate contact, the way he was not able to get off blocks. Now, the thing about him is he will fill the stat sheets with his tackling. Like he'll recover very well. He's great flowing to plays. He's great in recovery. He's a great tackler. Like he wraps really, really well. The problem with him just in that first BC game was plugging that A gap that was his responsibility and getting off blocks. Much, much, much better in the Ottawa game, but you're playing BC again, so you got to adjust for that. So defensively, you have to take James Butler out of the game, and it can't be as simple as just strong side A, weak side A. It needs to be like if James Butler is going to beat you, you're going to need to make him work for it. Nathan Rourke, obviously, that's kind of an obvious one, but his numbers of like they're not blowing you off the page this season. He's been, I don't want to say so or like he's a very good quarterback, but he's got a little bit of Pat Mahomes in him the last couple seasons where it's like, hey, we're just like he's just the best player in the CFL, right? Like we're just we're expecting him to explode, and he hasn't really yet, and his numbers are looking pretty average. Offensive keys to the game, Justin Rankin, got to give him 20 touches. Like, he has to be involved in that offense. How you want to divvy that up between the pass and the run, I figure that I'd like to think, 14 rushes minimum, 6 plays out of the backfield for him. And that's like minimal. Like he should be touching the ball more than 20 times. That's got to be the minimum. If you want to have Javon Leake come in and take drives when Justin Rankin needs a break, and you want to come in and run double back sets and give them option looks, you can do all that for sure. But the offense has to go through Justin Rankin. In the receiving game, I thought the receivers had their best week last week at actually getting separation on routes. Like the only guy who was able to really consistently get separation this season was Austin Mack. I thought Kaon took a real nice step in doing that last game. They had a couple of bubble screens drawn up for like TJ Luther to get him in the game. I think Josh Cephas has moved over to the slot in this one, so they presumably want to get him more involved in the offense, even if it is just with short crossers, fin routes, stuff like that. But offensively, it's don't try and be what you're not. Like you are a team who runs through Justin Rankin and will throw the ball from 8 to 17 yards. And that's made you 4-1 on the season. So stick with what got you to the dance to a degree, run it through Justin Rankin, and win the line of scrimmage. Because the only game this season you didn't win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball was that BC game. They just got gashed on both sides. Now, I know they have a backup center that I touched on, but go out there and win the line of scrimmage. So I would say those are the keys to the game.
And we expect that the back-to-back against the Rough Riders is for first place. If now, I don't think they'll win both, but they could split it. Does it go right down to the end of the year?
Yeah, it's tough to predict 2 wins. Hey, especially I was kind of like I was a little hard on Saskatchewan, and they looked. Now, granted, they were playing like Jake Dolegala, and like their defense finally stepped up. But yeah, you would think they'll split. This is a really important game. Like you do not want to be going into a back-to-back with Saskatchewan at 4-2. Like as crazy as it sounds, 5-1 going into that back-to-back is a heck of a lot different than 4-2.
Yeah.
So this win, I think, is really important. It's also the Elks Nation Defend Your Honor game. BC Lions social media team. I don't know if you guys saw. They took a nice shot at us.
What?
Yeah. After the game, they their social media account. Social media team put out a video making fun of me and Eddie talking about.
Well, wait a minute. If they made fun of you, that's one thing. But if they made fun of Eddie, we go to war.
Well, you know what the crazy thing is? The crazy thing was in that video, like the whole video, I'm actually being pretty generous to BC. I'm talking about how good James Butler is. I talk about Matthew Betts being a great game wrecker, and Eddie's really hammering home that they're a one-trick pony. So they cut off the end of the video where I talk about Matthew Betts, and they really just hammered home on Eddie, calling them a one-trick pony. And then they only tagged Eddie in the tweet.
What?
Yeah.
Saying they'll give anybody a mic.
And there's maybe no one more qualified to have a mic
I
and
would
talk about the CFL than Eddie Steele.
Yeah, I would
like
say.
legitimately.
And very passionate about it too. Like
No, absolutely. Like when you mix everything, played Grey Cup champion, second team all decade, been in media and passionate for it. Like try to tell me there's someone more qualified to talk about it than Eddie Steele.
Well, I and also a really nice guy. What are you doing? You're making yourself look like a fool.
Well, me and Eddie joked about it. Like if they had tagged me, it would have made a heck of a lot more
That's
sense.
my point. Go after the host because he'll have a chance to throw back. Eddie's like,
But
the talent.
You know what I thought it was? One, I was obviously very generous to that. It's funny in that video, actually. Eddie's like, who else is a game wrecker? Who's a game wrecker? I'm like, well, Matthew Betts. And he's like, yeah, okay, you checked me on that one. So I think the fact that I was generous to BC in that video mixed with the fact that I'm impossible to find on Twitter is why they only tagged Eddie.
Oh, you know what? Your Twitter haze, as Jimi Hendrix said, works for you.
Right? Because it doesn't make sense to tag Eddie in that instance. There's literally no one more qualified to talk about the CFL than him.
Did no one like my Jimi Hendrix impersonation?
Well, I moved past it
It
pretty
was
quick.
very close. I mean, closer than Collinsworth over there.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm gas. How do you do it again?
Oh, Ty, just come on. Like, yeah, that was great, but you know who's better? Patrick Mahomes. Come on now. Just like take me in the closet.
You can't get that kind of content anywhere but here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Jason Krueger on the way. Tomorrow it'll be Lansky and Declinations, the real one at 12:40. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please enjoy your day.
The Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. The Open Championship leaderboard through day one. Jackson Suber leading at 5 under. He is complete for the day. Daniel Brown and Sung Jae Im currently tied for second at 4 under, the highest ranked Canadian in the field. Nick Taylor, who's tied for 13th at 2 under, as is Scotty Scheffler. And the next highest ranked Canadian in the field, Corey Connors, at 1 over, tied for 59th. MLB returning tonight with the Mets and the Phillies. A 5 p.m. first pitch for that one. Lone game of the day in the MLB. Scott and Nola on the mound in that one. And CFL Week 7 will kick off tomorrow with BC and Edmonton at Commonwealth, a 7 p.m. kickoff. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.